Hi friends, in today's video, I am sharing the 5 most common mistakes that I see people making when they are creating online courses. Now, there's a lot of noise out there, there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of traps that you can fall into when you go to take your one-to-one awesomeness and transform it into an online course. And those challenges, those mindset blocks, those types of things can really stop you from getting your course out there in the world. And if it's not out there in the world, it's not making an impact, it's not changing people's lives. So today I'm going to explain or go through the 5 most common mistakes I see people making and how you can shift them so that you can stop getting stuck in that overwhelm spiral and start creating with confidence and clarity. Let's dive in. So we are going to count down the top mistakes I see people making when they create their online course or they go to create their online course. And we're going to start with mistake number 5, which is focusing on the tech before you've intentionally designed your course. So this is a question that's probably one of the most asked ones that I see in Facebook groups, online, and social. It goes something like this. I'm thinking of creating a course in the next couple of months. What platform should I use? And the answer is, wait, don't pick your platform until you have created a course design. Otherwise, you will have no idea what platform features that you need when you're looking at all the options out there, because there are a ton of great options. For my top 3 platforms and how to choose the one that's going to work for you, I actually have a whole video on that. So you can check that out. I'll link it in the comments below if you're at the point where you're ready for a platform. But the mistake that I see people making is jumping right to the tech before they take a minute to actually design their course with intention. Now, the beauty of starting with a solid course design and knowing what your course is going to entail is that when you go to choose your platform, it's so much easier because you don't need to worry about choosing a platform with all these bells and whistles if your course only needs a specific feature. So to stop yourself from getting stuck with the tech overwhelm, give yourself permission to wait to make that decision until after your course design. So mistake number 4 is thinking that the value of your course is based on the amount of content you put into it. Now, this is problematic for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you are saying something along the lines of, I have 8 workbooks, 10 modules, 500 hours of video, where should I price my course? What you're implying is that the more content equals the more value, which can lend itself to overstuffing your course. You're thinking, well, I want to charge more. I want to have a higher price point. I want to give more and more value to my people. I better add in more workbooks, more bonuses, more tools, more. And before you know it, your people are completely overwhelmed and they open it up and they go, oh my goodness, there's so much in here. I can't even fathom where to start. Instead, I want you to shift from thinking the value is based on the amount of content and shift to think your value is based on the impact that you can provide to your people, the transformation that you're building for them. Because if you can have an impact on people's lives, you can lead them to transformation, and you can do that in a fun, easy, bite-sized way. That's way more valuable than if you take 500 hours and a whole bunch of worksheets to do that. So what I want you to do is start reminding yourself, my value, the value of this program, does not come from the hours of video or comes from the hours of workbook. The value comes from the impact I am able to have. So related to mistake number 4 is mistake number 3, which is focusing on content more than action. Now, this is a really common, especially when you're sitting down to create your course. Say you want to create a course on helping people set up their business, so kind of a business 101. You sit down and you go, okay, what is everything I know about business? And you brain dump it out, you write it on Post-it notes, you write down your list and that type of thing. And you have this huge amount of information. And then you start grouping it together, you start organizing it, and you're thinking, okay, here are my modules, here are my lessons. The mistake there is you want to shift it from focusing on content to focusing on action, because action is what drives results. You can talk to people until you're blue in the face, but if they're not taking action, they're not going to see transformation, they're not going to see results, and you're not going to be making an impact on their lives. So instead of letting content drive your course, I want you to let action drive the design of your course. Now, I actually have a full free guide on how to inspire action, and I will link that below for you to grab. It leads my 2 top tools that I use, goal statements and action statements, so that you can make sure your course is as actionable as possible. So the guiding question I want you to keep in mind here, to keep yourself focused on action instead of focusing on content, is ask yourself, what do my people need to be able to do to reach the goal of my course? What do they need to do to see results? What do they need to do to see transformation? Not what do they need to know, what do they need to do? And if you find yourself getting stuck in but they just need to know this stuff, ask yourself, how will I know they know it? Because usually the answer to that is if someone knows something, they're taking action based on that knowledge. So that's my little hack for you there. So mistake number 2 that I see people making is designing their course a certain way or designing their learning experience a certain way because that's what everyone else is doing. Now, there's some sort of standard module or models that have popped up again and again in the industry. We've seen membership sites where you have to have a monthly training, a monthly guest expert, monthly new resources. We've seen online courses where there's always group coaching calls, there's a Facebook community, there's X amount of modules, and they all come with workbooks. And the answer is, not every single learner is the same. Not every single business is the same. You are completely unique, which means your learning experience can be too. There isn't some sort of magical one size fits all, here's the ultimate course design and you're good to go. So the mistake I see people making is instead of thinking about what's going to serve their learners the best, what feels authentic to them as a business owner and as a leader, they go, well, so-and-so is building their course like this, therefore I guess my course needs to look the same. And this actually has a couple different waves of impact. Is sometimes when it doesn't feel right to us, when we see someone else's model, it doesn't feel like in alignment with how we want to show up for our people, then we think, well, that doesn't feel right to me, so I guess courses aren't right for me, so I guess I won't teach my people. Which means, again, you're not having the impact on their lives. You're not sharing your gifts with the world on a larger scale. So give yourself permission and don't fall yourself into the mistake of feeling like you have to do things the same way that everyone else is doing them. You're unique and your course can be as well. So instead of trying to fit yourself into a one-size-fits-all model, I want you to ask yourself, what do my people need? What experience do I need to craft for them? What journey can I build for them? And how do I want them to feel along the way? And allow yourself to show up in a way that's uniquely you, and that's going to have a huge impact on the learning experience. And now the number one mistake, the biggest mistake that I see people making again and again and again is not spending enough time or not spending any time on the intentional design of their course. Now, you may have noticed a common thread through all of these mistakes I see people making, which is that they don't take the time to design their course. Now, when you take the time to intentionally design your course, to intentionally build a path for your people, there's a multitude of benefits. I could talk about this forever, but let me kind of synthesize it for you. First of all, it makes selling your course so much easier because you are confident that you have built a path for your people from where they are now to the results that they need that you know you can get them to. And you know you have intentionally woven this path together in a way that provides exactly the right amount of information, not too much, not too little, just the right amount to give them what they need to have those big results. You know that you've intentionally woven who they are as people, their strengths, where they need support, their community, what lights them up, what makes them your people. You've woven that through the experience so that it doesn't feel like someone else's course. It feels like yours. It feels like this is an extension of my business and how I can share this with the world. When you take the time to intentionally design your learning experience, and that can be a course, it can be a group program, it can be a workshop, a live event, any learning experience, when you take the time to intentionally design, you know you're focusing on action. You know you're focusing on the experience. And as a result, when your people get results, when your people have that life-changing experience, they become your biggest fans. They become your cheerleaders, which in itself is a brilliant marketing strategy. It's the best marketing strategy there is out there. And so that's why I say, if there's one thing you take away from this, is that take the time to design your learning experience because it will pay off tenfold. Now you can do this yourself. I have free resources to help you out. You can check them out. I'll link them below. But if you want an objective third party who can come in and help you live in alignment, be in alignment during this course design process so that you are designing a course that feels like you, that puts your learner at the heart of the experience, that is engineered and architected in a way that it's actually going to get huge results. That is my jam. That is what I'm here for. And you can book a totally free discovery call with me. There's a link in the comments below. There's a link in my bio. And I would love to chat with you about what you want to create. Now, you can use this call to find out more about what I do, but you can also use this call if you want to just get started. You have an idea for a course and you're feeling totally stuck. Let's chat it out. Let's get you making momentum. Let's get you making this happen, because I know that you have something incredible and that you have the ability to change lives. So don't let that course idea stay stuck in your head. It's time to get it out there and share it with people in a way that gets them huge results. So I want to know, are you guilty of any of these mistakes? And if so, which one stood out for you the most? What is the one shift that you're going to make starting today to make sure that you're not falling into these traps that everyone falls into at some point? Even me. We've all fallen into these traps. So I want to know, which one are you committed to shifting right now, today, so that you can make your course the most amazing experience possible for your people? Let me know in the comments, reach out to me if you have questions, and I just can't wait to see what you create.